I'm Chef George, nutritionist and chef, and I'm here to show you how to make a healthy breakfast. Who was here last time when I made the spinach? Okay. Oh, good. You remember? You remember. Well, this time I'm going to concentrate on breakfast because it's something that people many times forget to eat in the morning. Adults and children both miss breakfast. And if people have more breakfast in the morning and make sure to have it and eat proper things, there would be less obesity in the world because our metabolism is depending on having a good breakfast in the morning. We have to have breakfast in order to get our metabolism burning calories. And also kids would probably be a little bit better in school. They'd probably get better grades if they actually had a decent breakfast, not things like Pop-Tarts or Mountain Dew or whatever, things like that. So,
be careful.
That's right. No, I know. And not eating, of course, out of the vending machines for breakfast. You don't want to do that. That's big no. So, having a really balanced breakfast, you'll be surprised how much better you'll even function. I think even with your work and everything, I believe that if you have a decent breakfast, that would also affect your job performance. I think it would make it better. So it's just from all the studies that I have seen and read and things that I've learned, probably the most important meal of the day is breakfast. So that's why, because we need it in order to get a good start. So one of the things that you should be having for breakfast are things like eggs. Believe it or not, many people have heard that eggs have a bad rap, but actually eggs can be excellent for you as long as you don't overdo it, because they have vitamins like vitamin E, vitamin A is in eggs, selenium is another important antioxidant that's in eggs. They're also, the egg whites are excellent because they're low in saturated fat. They have protein, another good thing about eggs. So it's really a good idea to get eggs into your diet if you're not eating eggs. And one of the neat things I brought today was some eggs. A friend of mine, she has a farm and she has chickens. So these are actually eggs from her farm, from her chickens. But I'm not using those for the thing, so don't worry. I'm using regular pasteurized eggs for the demonstration. But I thought it'd be a nice little conversation piece, since these are actually eggs from a real chicken, from a farm. Not the chickens that are all, have been raised commercially. So I thought it'd be interesting. It's kind of neat that they're all brown and they're different colors and shades and things. So they're kind of neat. So you can take a look at them a little bit later. Get a close up. So for the crustless quiche with vegetables, I've got a lot of different vegetables for that, because you know how important vegetables are. I'm going to be using red peppers, green peppers, onions. I'm using some green chilies as well. Give it a little bit of flavor, because you can't just eat plain egg whites. That's not very appetizing, of course. And before you guys all got here, I actually sat down and I separated like about a couple dozen of eggs. So I'll show you a couple of tricks in separating eggs. Now I know there's a lot of gadgets out there, many of you might have them, that separate eggs from the egg whites. But I just do it the old-fashioned way for now, but there are kind of a lot of different ways you can do it. So what I usually do is have maybe a couple of cups or a couple of bowls, and crack the egg. And one is for the egg white. Let that go in there, and I just swish it back and forth. And one's for the egg yolk. It just takes a little practice. Just separate them. Just like that. Anybody want to try?
Do you want to hand it? You still get your protein in the egg whites, correct?
Yes, yeah, they're a very good source of protein. And there's no limit to egg whites, how many you can have in your diet. So that's a good thing. So what I usually do is, for the recipe, it's just for a few people. but I'm making it for a big crowd, so that's why I cracked so many. So I just put that in here. And I'll put a couple of whole eggs too. And it's very important to have a wire whisk. So you want to beat your eggs. And the importance of the wire whisk is that you're beating air into your eggs. And it's good exercise too. So once you've beat some air into the eggs, you can set that aside. What I have for the crusted quiche is a little muffin tin. I make sure to spray it. Use a little cooking spray. These are a great snack, of course, for breakfast. You can store them in the refrigerator up to a few days. And next, I'm going to chop my onions. Need about a cup of onions. And a lot of the ingredients are bought today, they're actually from my garden, so they're all fresh. And with all the rain we've had, our gardens have been doing pretty good. Our grass has been pretty lucky. And I have red pepper. And red peppers are a very good source of vitamin C. There's more vitamin C actually in a red pepper than in orange, believe it or not. Yeah, they're a very good source of vitamin C. They're full of vitality. They're that beautiful red color. And this is this pepper here is from my garden. And just when you cut a green pepper, just cut the top off, get the seeds out, cut them in half, and then cut them into julienne strips. And then cut it into little, you just dice it up into little cubes. Takes a little bit of work, but once you get all your ingredients together, it's really simple to make. And there's also some excellent seasonings we're going to be using for this recipe. We've got a lemon pepper we'll be using, oregano, a little bit of fresh basil. I also grow herbs, my own herbs too. So I have a little fresh basil that I'll be adding. Does anybody have a garden going? Doing pretty good.
Is that sweet basil?
Yep, a little sweet basil. Let's see, I like to use different kinds of peppers. There's another green pepper.
Is it a mild one?
This one's a mild one, yeah. But the more you leave them on the vine, sometimes they can get a little bit, they get sweeter, and then sometimes hotter too.
They have all your fresh herbs and stuff at Westbourne Market, which is like not too far from here.
Nice.
They got tons of really fresh
Herbs.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, summertime is a great time to cook because you have so many fresh ingredients. We got our peppers here. Let's see. What I like to do, what you can do, there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can actually mix everything in the bowl and then use a ladle to ladle it into the little muffin tins. But I want to make sure that everything is, that I get a little bit of everything in each one. So actually what I like to do is just put a few little green onions in the bottom. And kind of layer it. You can do it the really easy way too, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just wanna make sure that they're all, everything is distributed, equally. So you can see, putting all these beautiful colors into my quiche. And I'm doing a crustless quiche because a lot of the calories are in the crust, so I'm not using the crust for this. A little bit of basil. I actually have a zucchini, you can grate. So if you're wondering what to do with the zucchini that you grow from your garden, you can do so many different things. You can even add it to your quiche. I love making zucchini bread though, that's my favorite. Fresh zucchini bread. So we got our zucchini. Add that. And then instead of the cheddar cheese, we use a little bit of cottage cheese instead, because it's a little bit lower in calories. So just take a little teaspoon and put a dab on each one. It's a good substitute. And now, let's see, we need a little lemon pepper. So I just put a little dash of lemon pepper in each one. And once you get your veggies chopped up, then the rest is, you know, a breeze. You can actually have some fun and season it how you want. I like to take a little Parmesan cheese as well. Just everything in moderation. Got some oregano too. That's one of my favorite herbs to use as well.
I guess considering the size of the container.
You can tell. I use oregano on everything. That. And now, all you have to do is,
Is there room for eggs?
yeah, you wonder, is there room for eggs? And just take your ladle.
So you don't season the eggs at all?
Well, you could put a little cayenne pepper into the eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, when you fill them, try to get close to the rim.
How many eggs do you think are in a ladle? Like, is there like a 1 egg per ladle, or less than an egg?
It's probably less than an egg in one ladle. So you want to put about, I'm putting about 3. So would probably be for 3. You probably like 1.5 eggs or something like that.
So, Chef, have you ever tried to calculate for like Weight Watchers 360 points or something like that on how much you're putting into each of those? Because so far it looks like there's close to 0 points right now that you're using, right?
Oh, for like Weight Watchers?
Yeah. All vegetables is 0 points right
Yeah.
now. Less than an egg is less than 2 points.
Yeah.
I mean, really, there's.
And they're mostly egg whites.
It's mostly egg whites,
Oh,
yes.
So, man, Weight Watchers, we need a buttload of those.
There you go. There you go. So then you just pop these into the oven. You have your oven preheated to 350.
Excellent.
You just pop these into the oven for about, well, they do take a little while to cook. They take about an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, they do take a while to cook because the egg, you know,
Yeah, it has to set up fully.
yeah, it has to set up fully. That's the only thing about it. It's a little bit time consuming. But they, yeah, well, yeah, better put an hour because when I was doing it yesterday, it took an hour. So make sure to change your recipe. At 350, yep. you pop them in the oven, make sure to use like a little toothpick and make sure that when it comes out it's clear, and then you can have our little quiche right here.
So if you wanted to freeze these, you just cool them down and then you can put them in baggies and freeze them?
Exactly. You can freeze them. They can probably last for a couple weeks in the freezer, I would say.
So are there vegetables that have too much water content that wouldn't be good to?
Yeah, that's why I'm using the peppers and the zucchini, but like I wouldn't put tomato. That would have too much water if you use a tomato. And cucumber would have too much water. Yeah.
How about spinach?
Spinach would be okay. You can do it spinach.
And how would you defrost, just room temperature defrost, right, before you cook it, or how would you defrost that?
Well, the night before. You would just take them out the night before, a couple.
Leave them in the fridge.
Yeah, leave them in the fridge. But these are great. I mean, even the next day they're even better. When you leave them in the fridge, and the next day they taste even better. So that's what I like about them.
Excuse me, real quick,
Yes.
instead of, if you didn't use the egg substitute,
Okay.
how many more eggs would you use?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't use the egg substitute because you need quite a bit for this many people. But for the recipe, I think it says like 3/4 of a cup.
Yes.
So you can use, if you don't want to use the egg substitute, you could probably crack about 5 egg whites. Probably.
Altogether?
Yeah, it'll be about
Okay.
5 egg whites.
Okay.
To equal 3/4 of a cup.
Got it, thank you.
But it's neat because these also have, if you're going to use the egg whites, the exactly eggs, I think it's called exactly egg whites, it has little conversion table on the back. So 1 egg is 1/4 cup of this. Half cup is 2 eggs. And if you use a cup of this, it's 4 eggs. So just to let you know if you're going to use it in cooking and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it has a little conversion table.
And that's just plain egg whites, there's nothing
Yeah,
else in
100%
there.
egg whites.
Yeah, 100%
Okay.
egg whites. Oh, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you like, you can, I think that when you make them with the regular egg whites, they do come out better than when you use the egg white substitute. That's because I do a little experiment, and I noticed when you use the egg whites that they actually come out a little better,
Fluffier.
more fluffy, exactly. So that's the one suggestion I have. But if you're short on time and you don't have time to sit and separate them, then you can use the egg white substitute. Come in real handy. Is everybody hungry?
Yes.
You are? Okay. Well, how many of you have kids? Okay. Well, I know a lot of times the kids are not crazy about eggs, right? So one of the fun things you can do is get a little egg mold and make a little egg face for the kids. You put little berries on for the eyes and a little pepper for the mouth. Because kids, they tend to like foods better if they're shaped, in funny forms and interesting ways. So that's one way to get kids to eat breakfast in the morning. Have it like this, something real creative. And all I did for that is just I sprayed my mold, had the grill really hot, and I cracked a couple eggs inside up here, and then let it set, and then cut it around the edges, and then it came right out. It pops right out. In case you were wondering if you wanted to try. Okay, so once these pop into the oven, pretend the oven's over here. Pretend oven. We can, yes.
If I want to make a tray of those instead.